Hey friends, this is Andi, and I just want to welcome you to my show. Today we're going to laugh, possibly cry, and do some more laughing and dive deeper in your faith as we have an open and honest conversation about Jesus in life. I have some of my friends and family that I've invited along for the ride, so grab your favorite cup of coffee or maybe a cup of tea, kick your feet up, and get ready for Coffee with Andi. Hey friends, I am really excited about episode 3 of season 6 of Coffee with Andi because I have got my roommate and friend and very special human in my life, Kaylee Morgan, sitting here with me on the couch. You live with me, so you know, we're roommates. I'm so glad that you're here and honored that you would be a part of this with me, and that you got stuck with me during the pandemic. I think we need to talk a little bit about why, this is an important topic for us to talk about. And we're talking about self-preservation today. Yeah. The truth about self-preservation and isolation and what that does to us when we're trying to operate in friendships and in community and how that really destroys that. But I just need you to tell, you could tell whatever story you want. You could tell the story of how we met each other. But we definitely need to talk about how we became roommates and in a way that we never thought we were going to become roommates.
I moved right at the beginning of 2020.
You sure did. And we were like, this is going to be our year.
Yeah, you know? It was going to be great. I was going to move to New York. I was going to thrive. It was going to be awesome. I was going to find this sick job.
Yep.
Was a little nervous because I was coming out of something that was really hurtful and I felt really broken.
Yeah.
Was so nervous that I called you.
I remember that. So I was excited. And what was kind of crazy too was that I said to Paul, I feel like Kaylee's supposed to live with us. And he goes, well, I haven't met her, but I trust your judgment. I mean, that was even for Paul to be that like nonchalant. He must have really trusted in that moment. And we know now in hindsight, after a year and a bit, that it was definitely God, that our worlds collided. But I loved this moment because this was you actually battling self-preservation. I want to read a quote really quick before you tell that story, because I wrote this in the beginning of the self-preservation chapter. I said, self-preservation is willfully choosing the pain of isolation over the potential of messy, godly connection. Talk about messy, godly connection. I mean, the stories we could tell here.
Yeah. I was really nervous because, like I said, I wasn't in the best of places.
Yeah.
And it would have been really easy for me to just come in, act like everything's fine. Yeah. I'm an athlete. I like to win.
Yes.
So, and I like to look successful. And I don't want to fail. And so it would have been really easy for me to just kind of come into your home and just pretend everything was fine. But I made the choice to call you.
Yeah. Well, I remember you texted me. It was one of those texts you're like, can I talk to you? And I'm like, oh no. Like, you're like, no, it'll be quick. Like, trust me. And so
I just needed to tell you that I was really scared to move in with you. And it had nothing to do with the move. It was me bringing my mess into your house.
Yeah.
That's what I was scared of. Because I didn't want you to see me as this broken failure.
Yeah.
I wanted you to see me as successful Kaylee.
Yeah, and I think that kind of went both ways. And I hope I put you at ease a little bit. And I was like, well, listen, you're going to get to see my mess because you're going to be right in it. And that's kind of been the truth of us choosing to step into friendship and relationship. And even how I look at how you've become like a little sister to me, and my kids are obsessed with you. And I remember when there was a potential one moment where you were maybe going to move. Where one of the kids, it shocked me that one kid had such a response that was very emotional. Like, is she going? And I went, oh my gosh, we have really truly gotten into a place where we have chosen to not isolate ourselves, but to really live in community with each other in our own home.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that moment because I think for me, we really were just getting to know each other. I mean, we met. It's just still a funny story. You have to tell how we met because you really didn't want to meet me.
I didn't.
But which is literally the best thing ever. It made me go, gosh, I really want to be friends with her now.
Yeah, I was interning at a church in Dallas.
Yep.
And last minute, we had this crazy influx of signups. So now all of a sudden I was being the chaperone. I was in charge of all the volunteers at this conference that I've actually never attended.
But you're in charge.
But I'm in charge. And so now I'm like a chaperone, these 7th grade girls. And then the last minute they were like, oh, we need you to pick up Andi.
You're like, Andi who?
And I was like, what? And they're like, oh, she's from New York. We need someone cool. Go. And I was like,
That's very nice that they thought that. I'm like, do they know how dorky I am? You do, because you're going to write the book called Exposed.
Yeah.
Because you see all my coolness at home and you're going to...
I'll let them know.
Just the dance moves.
Yeah, I didn't want to pick you up.
I think you told me that like 6 months ago. I was like, wait, what? I didn't know that part of it.
Yeah, and your flight was delayed.
Yep.
And
annoying already.
Yep.
Don't like her. She's
and
delayed.
I had to Google who you were because I didn't know what you looked like. And then you were hungry.
Yeah, and it was late
when you got in my car.
But I also had my then, what was he, 13, 14-year-old who was hungry too, so I blamed
You blamed it on
him.
him.
Yeah,
you were hungry.
I was hungry.
Yeah, and so, but it gave us more time together.
It did.
And we just kind of.
And I remember out of the gates, I won't necessarily say what I said, but I know that I just like started, because we were trying to get each other's background. Like, what was your upbringing? What was it like? And I tell you my upbringing, and you're like, like some of the, why are you talking to me like this? And I remember one of the things that I loved so much right away was how you connected with my son. And then I was like, why are you so good with this kid? And you're like, well, I have a brother exactly his age, and you guys connected on a level where I don't even know if I'll be able. I'm like, what, video games? What? He's like, you're spelling Fortnite wrong, Mom. I'm like, it's not like F-O, no, I spell it. Yeah. So uncool. But you were cool and came into my kid's world. And, but that moment where you stepped into our household, and then like, honestly, there was the lockdown and we were stuck together, and it was emotional. I mean, we honestly could have isolated ourselves in our own home, but we all chose, all of us, kids included.
Yeah.
Everyone chose, as we sat around that dinner table, like, to tell the truth of the hard things that 2020 was. And, I wondered for you, like, I mean, I wrote this down. I have a PhD in self-preservation, kind of something that I write about. And I do think that it's innate in us to take care of ourselves, because we don't want to look like a fool in front of people. But we can't truly have relationship with people if we can't be a fool in front of people either. So is there anything for you within that chapter that resounded with you, that stood out to you?
I think when you talked about being young and being so full of emotions and feelings that weren't expressed. Yeah. And how it led you to fall into being a performer and successful and just you'll rally the people and you'll get the job done and you'll be great at it. Yeah. I think a lot of my upbringing was a lot of that. Yeah. A lot of unexpressed emotions and feelings. And
both of us are deep feelers as people. We're the ones that we cry about everything. We feel very deeply. Who knew that two people in the same home that operate very similarly would have actually been really great, not like scary. Yeah, but it's worked somehow. But yeah, so for you, it was similar.
Yeah, it was similar. And I never felt like I was allowed to express my feelings or was allowed to mess up or to fail. Yeah. And so I made sure that I didn't and would self-preserve that way and would be great in front of people and go home and close my door and not talk to anybody. Yeah. And I had a lot of, I always said, because I did sports growing up, I had a lot of teammates, but I never had any friends.
Yeah, and I'll say this, she's in the Hall of Fame, okay, in Missouri. She's a track star, everyone, and can basically play any sport and kill it. So there's that. I love it when we go to the park and you start playing basketball and the kids are like a magnet to you. Yeah. You just like, we'll start these games. You're like, want to play, Andi? I'm like, nope, I'll be a cheerleader. Go for it, guys. Yeah. So anyway, but I think that's why too, you were saying earlier when we were chatting that that's why you wanted to call too ahead of time. Maybe talk to that for 1 second. You wanted to call ahead of time because
I feel like in order for me to combat this self-preservation, I I had to be aware of a few things. So it's like I had to be aware of the fact that the enemy would have loved nothing more than for me to go and hide. Yeah. And stuff it down and not talk about it. Because he steals, kills, and destroys. Yep. And so he would love nothing more than to steal me away from intimacy. Yeah. Or kill any intimacy that I've created or destroy any chance of me creating intimacy. Yeah. And so being aware of that helps me combat it. And then it's even just acknowledging how I self-preserve and why.
So this is what's amazing is you're actually giving keys right now. Yeah. And I think that if you're listening or watching, I want you to tune into this because there's 3 things she's about to share with you. And the first one was awareness. Yeah. So you being aware of where you're at. Because if we're not aware, then we just will naturally take care of ourselves, take care of our own. So you becoming aware, oh my gosh, this is what I'm feeling. When you have that pang of anxiety in your stomach, why is that there? What do I want to protect? What do I,
Yeah, just listening to myself, listening to my body and not just being like, oh, that's weird. Yeah. But actually like leaning into it.
Yeah. So awareness. Yeah. And
then acknowledge why and how.
Yeah. So how did you get there?
I'm really good at keeping secrets because I don't want people to know or see me as a failure. So it's like, I won't let you know that I'm doing something until I did it and I was successful at it.
Okay, give an example of that.
Yeah. I wouldn't let somebody know that I was going to go on a date. Or I wouldn't let people know that I applied for a job.
It's great that you live with me. What are you doing? Where are you going? Why?
But I actually tell you a lot of what's going on.
You tell me a lot. So I love that you're telling me this because the Kaylee I know is a Kaylee who has chosen connection. Yeah. You've chosen relationship. That's the Kaylee I know.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, it would be things like that. Because if my date goes bad, I don't want to have to come home and tell you that my date went bad. That's embarrassing. Yeah. Yeah. Or if I don't get the job, I'll look like a failure. Yeah. So the last thing is accountability. So it's me bringing my people, my really close people, my circle, in along for the journey. Yeah. And letting you know, hey, I applied for this job and I'm really nervous and I may not get it. Yeah. But my people allowing me and giving me permission to still be in community with them, whether I'm successful or not. Yeah. That's what your circle does. Yes. It gives you the permission to just be fully you. Yeah. Regardless of how you see yourself, they're going to remind you of actually who you are, and the importance of how God made you to be.
Yeah. I think when you say that, like, it's crazy. Everything comes back to Jesus. Right. Because I think about how before Jesus, that's where we're completely ourselves. We're completely undone. And the more we can cultivate that with one another, the safer spaces we create, the more we bring the kingdom of heaven to earth in community. And so I love you and I'm grateful. You're going to be on a couple more episodes in the future too. So we're going to talk some more, but you also get to do life with Ben and Nicole, who are about to be our next guests. And is there anything you want to say about them before I introduce them?
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah. I love them. I feel like anytime they're speaking, I just need a notepad. Yeah. Yes. I go over to their house and I'm like, low key on my phone.
You're like, casually hanging out. I'm just texting someone, writing notes.
Yeah, just taking notes. They're amazing. They're gonna love them.
They really are. So I would say to anybody that's listening or watching, get your notes out if you already haven't had them out for Kaylee. Thank you for your time. I love you.
I love you too.
We're gonna go over to Ben and Nicole now. Ben and Nicole, I am so happy that you're here. And I like you guys so much that I even let you sit on my couch today.
Ooh, I feel very special. Thank you.
Actually, we just didn't really want your pants blending in, did we? No.
It would have blended in, like a weird camouflage situation.
Well, I am really grateful that you guys flew in last night from New York City, where we all live in the same city together.
The greatest city.
The greatest city on the world.
Objectively.
Okay, so why? Talk about that for a second.
Why it's the greatest city in the world?
Yeah.
Because you can get pizza at 24 hours a
This.
day. You
That's
can
all you
get
need to
coffee
know.
on any corner.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
coffee, your dry cleaners, your favorite diner, and
Yeah.
everything all is within 3 buildings.
Seriously, even on my street, 2 of the best pizza places, I would say in New York City, best bagels right around the corner. It's a real problem, actually. Yeah.
Quality problem, though, is what I would
Yes, it's
call
a quality problem. It's a quality problem, but I'm really grateful that you guys came. I'm going to have you guys introduce yourselves in a second, but I want to take a moment and just honor you as the people that you are in our life. Wow, I wasn't expecting to cry right away. So if you're watching or listening to the podcast, either way, I'm so grateful that you've joined us because these 2 mean the world to my husband, Paul, and I. Nicole is on our team, and she is a friend and someone that I have been able to run with. And I love how you, Nicole, champion other women and men in your world. She's our teaching pastor, but not just that. Like she's on our executive team. She does so many amazing things. She runs her own business. She's this phenomenal woman, but she is as real as they come. So when you see her behind the scenes, I just love who you are, how you love me. It's a real honor. I get to be completely myself with you, and I just want to thank you for that. And thank you for the friend that you are to us. And Ben, go ahead, Ben. I want to honor you for several things. And one of them, it's very personal, but it's the way that you have been a friend to my husband. You guys know, but being in ministry, I know everybody watching or listening is not in ministry, but the position that he holds is a really hard place to not self-preserve. We're talking about self-preservation today. And you have been a friend to him in every way. And I just want to thank you and honor you for that. But also the man that you are, the way that you love your wife, the way that you lead, the way that you lead your business with integrity. Both of you are ridiculous communicators as well. But I just want to honor you both and thank you for just being our friends and for running with us. Nicole, you were on the last season and a couple seasons before as well on Coffee with Andi, and the episode with you and Alex was so powerful. And I would just love for you both to talk a little bit more about what you do in New York with your businesses, because you don't just run with us in church. You're not just our friends. You guys are kind of a ridiculous power couple. So would you just let the people know that are listening or watching a little bit more about yourselves?
Aw. Well, before we do, thank you. I love you so much.
I love you.
I just think you are an extraordinary woman through and through. And the way that you follow Jesus with such authenticity and sincerity, the way you love people, and just getting to run alongside you the last few years, like I am a better follower of Jesus just because you're in my world. And you, just the way you show up for people and the way you sacrifice for people and the way that you've shown up for me in different years. Like we've talked about this openly, and maybe it'll come up in this conversation, maybe it won't, but I actually don't, as somebody who's been in full-time ministry since I was 19, I actually don't know if I still would be if it wasn't for you and Paul creating a safe space for me to heal after some hurts and to continue to evolve and grow and create a safe space without competition, but where people are championed. That's really intentional to create that space for people. And you just do that even when it's sacrificial at times. I love you, and I'm just so excited to even see what the future holds for you, and honored to have a seat, to be able to watch and be a part. But just thank you.
Thank you
for the way that you love us. We wouldn't even be married if it wasn't for Liberty Church, which maybe we'll talk about a little bit too.
Yeah, we will definitely talk about
there's
that.
There's so many things to thank you for. So
I joke that I owe everything to Liberty Church.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we get to do some pretty amazing things in the city that we love. We love Liberty Church, and we get to both serve and be a part of team there and be a part of ministry and just see what the kingdom of God is how it's expanding in New York and London and, in Africa and in Florida and different places. Just a really amazing experience. And then also last time I was on the podcast, we got to talk about Iridescent Women.
Yes, we did.
And that is the company that, as we are recording this, they're celebrating 3 years at this point. Of a business, which is crazy. I never thought I'd be an entrepreneur, but God really clearly, I think it's because I got around him.
Yeah, you got around to entrepreneur.
God just really clearly called me and my business partner, Alex, to create a space where online where women could be championed and we could talk about things that were really relevant in women's life and just take the masks off and be real. There's just so many things that are filtered and aspirational. If you look a certain way or if you reach this sort of success, then you've made it as a woman. We're just like, forget that. Let's just be who we are and celebrate our successes and also be able to support each other in our struggles. So that's really what
do that so well.
Is about. So, so I get to run that company, and we're just so grateful to see how it's grown and expanded and become global in reach, and have a membership program now for women, and we have podcasts and articles and all those things. But between that and church life and speaking and teaching, I get to live a really full life.
You're not bored?
I'm not bored.
No, you're not bored.
And I really enjoy it.
So what about you, Ben?
I'm a stay-at-home husband. I run a digital marketing agency called the Smithy Group. I know, the most clever name in the world.
It actually is a really great name. So I'm just,
But it was never going to be a group, actually. So I moved to New York 6 years ago. I'm a serial entrepreneur, I guess.
Yes.
I caught the bug in 2009, started a company back in Dallas, moved to New York. I exited that, moved to New York in 2014. Helped some other friends start another company, did that for a year, and then started the Smithy Group, which was going to be a group of one. And until I started meeting people at Liberty Church that needed side hustles and side gigs. I was like, well, I can sell some more work and throw you some side work. And then the rest was history. Met my wife, Nicole, through Visionaries when I was speaking at Visionaries.
Wait, pause. Just to talk about that for a moment. Were you excited? Did you know? Tell a little bit of that story.
What happened was I was speaking at Visionaries, and
explain what, talk about what Visionaries is for a moment.
There's your version of the story, and then there's the real version of the story.
I think we need to tell both of those versions.
So Visionaries, which I'm excited. I'm now the director of Visionaries, and Nicole is my church boss. When it comes to Visionaries.
And so what is Visionaries?
It's our professional development ministry. So it's a place where anyone in the city or any of the communities where we have Liberty Church, or even as we moved online, there's opportunities for anyone around the globe to come and seek ways to be inspired and equipped and activated in their profession, whatever their professional calling is, and to spread faith in the workplace. I believe that it's one of the most evangelical expressions of what we do at Liberty Church, and it's just such an honor to be able to do that and with all these creative people that blow my mind every time we meet up.
But we met there.
But we met there, I was
like, you guys have to tell some of your story, because I actually feel like it flows in and out a little bit of the topic and that we're talking about, which, like I said, is self-preservation. So
I mean, that's what it was when I got asked to speak at Visionaries. Dawn at the time was like, hey, what do you do? And I saw him at the Smithy Group, and I was like, but it's never going to be a group. It's just going to be me, which was a very self-preveration mindset as well. Like, I'm not going to hire people. I'm going to do this on my own, all this type of stuff.
Well, because you know that you can do it well if you do it on your own. But if
I can do it my way. I don't know how to do it well, but I can do it my way.
There you go.
And only my way. And so that's what it was going to be. And so I was speaking at Visionaries. And there was this woman that came, and she was a super fan, and she was asking me all these questions, and it turned out that later she became my wife. And to me,
you're a super fan. Did you walk in with a sign?
No. I did enjoy your talk, though. It was very good. You are a great communicator. And it was my first time attending a Visionaries event. I was new to the city. I just moved from Los Angeles to New York, and really wanted to see all the different things that we as a church were doing. So I had heard that he was a great speaker ahead of time. A friend of mine, Dawn, was actually talking him up. So I think she was trying to do some matchmaking.
Which, Dawn, if you remember, if you're watching or listening, was on episode 2, talking about navigating betrayal. So we were talking about a light topic. But that's Dawn.
She's amazing. And she had mentioned him. She's talking him up. She even said, like, he was voted one of the most eligible bachelors in Dallas when he lived in Dallas at the time. And for somebody, that might be really like, wow, tell me more. For me, no. Like, I had an idea of who this person was. I remember literally saying to Dawn, well, good for him. And that was like the end of the conversation. But then I went to the event, and I was like, oh, he's not at all what I imagined
what you
in my
pictured,
head. And we got to talking afterwards. And so then he pseudo asked me out. I didn't know if it was a real date. Guys do this.
Strategically asked you out.
They were like, hey, she's like, so, because we were talking about marketing and the topic, and I was kind of getting some advice from him about some things for church, and then he said, well, we should hang out sometime, we should grab dinner or whatever. And I didn't know if he was going to give me free consulting, which I'll take for church, or it was an actual date. So I was like, this is kind of weird. I'll say yes.
I remember asking you, remember after that first date? I was like, so what happened? You're like, I don't know.
It was a great date, I thought. And then I didn't hear from him. So I was like, oh, well, that
Kept
happens.
seeing him at church with the awkward wave.
Yeah. So we would see each other occasionally and just say hi. But for 3 months, we didn't go out on another date. So I thought, oh, well, And then he asked me out again, which I thought was so strange after 3 months that it caught me off guard. So I said yes.
Playing a long game, slow play.
Oh, is that what it was?
Strategy.
But then after that, I think we were married a little over a year later, and you guys were there. And
yes, we were.
Finley was our flower girl.
I know.
Yes.
We partied hard.
We did
had a
party
good time.
hard. It was great.
Yeah.
But
My nephew Rocco and Sam were running around.
Oh, they were.
This was pre-COVID era, so anytime people would leave to go to the dance floor, Sam and Rocco